Let us look at this program. In this program, we are supposed to search a telephone directory, and the telephone directory contains the name of the person and their phone numbers. So when we start the search with A, anything that starts with A must come, and if you add any other additional character, it has to filter accordingly. So without further ado, let's start the project. I'm going to go to the file, new project, and under new project I'm going to select Java application. Let me click next, and let me give the name of the project as anything, telephone search. You can give any name. Click finish to finish it off. Now let's first try to create the database, and then we will be able to do the other part. So in order to do that, let's go to the services, and if the service is not visible, go to the window, and under window you will find services. Here search for the services under window. So you can do it like this. Okay. Now we have the JavaDB database here. Right click on it and start the server. Once the server is started, go to the services again, and if you click on the plus sign, you will notice that some database already exists. They may or they may not exist, but I have few databases existing with me. Let me right click on it and let me create a new database by right clicking and on the JavaDB, and then selecting the create database. So I will right click on this and create database to create the database, and give a name to the database. I will say telephone directory. If the database already exists, just change the name. I will give the username ABC, password also ABC, and confirm the password as ABC, and let me click OK. Once I do it, it's going to take some time for the database to appear. So you notice at this junction, you will notice that it does take some time for it to create the database. Once it is done, you can notice here somewhere you will notice that it has created a database. So I have used the word tele directory, and it has created. So right click on it and then say connect. So you can also click on the plus sign and right click and connect it first, and once you do that, right click and connect it. Once you have done that, after that you can disconnect it if at all you want it. Under ABC you will notice that the tables are there, and there are no tables are there here. So right click and say create a table. Let me give the name as customers or contacts. Let me say contact as the name of the table. I will add the contact name, CNAME, as a contact name, and this is going to be varchar. So let me search for varchar. You can give any size. I will just give the size as 50 because I'm not going to type more than 50 characters in this demo. Click OK. In the same way, click on the add column. So let me click on this add column, and then I am going to call this as a phone number without space. Again, I will use the varchar. If you want, you can use integer. There is nobody is preventing you from using integer. Let me say 11 characters. If you want, you can add the additional character or reduce the character. So I have the CNAME without space and phone number and the contacts as my table. Click OK, and my table is ready. You can click on the plus sign to know the two fields over here. Right click on it and then say view data. So right click on this table and then say view data. You will view the data because there is nothing is there. You won't find any interesting thing. However, what is important here is to concentrate on this particular icon that helps you to add the new data into the database, that is insert new records. So click on that, and then you will be given a dialog box. In this dialog box, type the name as is given over here. So few names are given. The first name is given as Anil. I will just copy paste this one, Anil, and double click here and then paste it. Type a number. Okay, then after that click on this add row to add the new row. So click on the add row. Again, I'm going to type the next one as the Arjun. So I will copy paste that. In your case, you will have to manually type it. So then I will have some numbers here. Then the next one I'm going to use is Ashwin. So Control C and click on the add row first. So click on add row first and then add the new row and some numbers over here. Let me go to the next one, that is RAM. So I'm going to copy this one and click on the add row, double click here and then I'm going to type some number. Let me go to the next one and that is Raj, and I'm going to just paste it there, add row and paste it there, and some numbers as the telephone number. You can type some other number also. Then I have Deepak. Let me do that thing, add rows and say Deepak and some number. Okay, that's all I need to do, and finally you click on OK to save everything. Click OK to save everything. So your database is created now with the two your table is created with the two fields. Now let's go back to the code. Now I'm going to switch to the Java. So I will switch to the Java code. I will go to the static void main. Here we are supposed to do the needful thing. Because I need an input, I will use the scanner object, and the scanner is from java.utility, and when you do that you need a import statement for java.utility. So let me call it as input, and I'm going to say new scanner object, and I'm going to give the input system.in. So that's it, and I'm going to say yes out. Now I'm going to say enter contact name. Okay, I will not use print ln, rather I'm going to use print only without the line. Then I'm going to take a string here, string cname. Okay, contact name, whatever you take it as, equal to input dot next line. So I have the data with me. Now I need to connect to the database. In order to connect to the database, you need a connection, and the connection that you are going to get is from java.sql. Very important thing, you get it from the java.sql, not from somewhere else. So let's go and let's get that java.sql, and you notice that there is an import statement that is being added here. So java.sql dot connection. Let me say con is equal to, I need a driver manager, so driver manager, and if you look at the statement over here, driver manager. Now if you are writing, when you are writing it in the examination, it may not be possible for you to remember everything. So I was, as told before, when you are importing, just import the minimum thing, and the common thing, if you get it, remove, keep only the common thing, and then put star here. So it is going to import everything. So that is easier if you are writing during the examination. So SQL dot star. So let me come back to the driver manager, and in the driver manager I am going to go and then say get connection, and I will use the third option here with the username and password. So first one is my connection string, which I am going to paste it slightly later, and the username I gave it as ABC, password I gave it as ABC. Now only thing that I need is the connection string. So let me go and get the connection string. I'm going to go to the services again. If the service is not visible, go to the window and you will find the services, but I have the services with me, and I'm going to go to this location, that is where my database table exists. Right click on it and then go to the properties. So right click on this one, whichever table that you created, go to the properties, and you have a database URL. You can get that database URL, click on it and copy this whole thing. So select this thing and Control C to copy, close this and close this. You have the connection with you. So come to the get connection and paste the connection. So that is going to create the connection to the database. You need to handle an exception. Now you notice that a red squiggly line has come saying that there is something wrong. If you click on this bulb, you will notice that it just says that you need to throw the SQL exception. I'm going to say surround or you can throw this one, it's up to you. So I'm going to just say surround the block with the try catch. When you do it, what you notice is you start with the try and with the catch, and the entire thing has been put up inside this. Once we have done that, let's go to the next part. And when you do it, it may be difficult for you to remember this part, logger, get logger, and so on and so forth. So you can, during the examination, if something really goes wrong, if you can't remember this one, you can just say yes out and just to say error. That's all. Okay, that's going to work fine. You don't need to remember that whole thing during the examination. When you are writing it, you may not remember all those things. I'm talking about when you are writing it, not when you are executing it. When you are executing, it is better you keep whatever NetBeans has created, otherwise it may be a bit difficult for you. So I'll keep whatever that NetBeans has created. But when you are writing it during the examination, just write a system.out and error, that's all. That means to say that there is one error, exception has occurred. So let's come back to the place. We have the driver manager, we have the connection. In order for us to execute, we need a statement. So I'm going to say statement. Now the statement is going to come, let me press control space. That statement is going to come from java.sql. Okay, statement. So statement, okay, stmt is equal to connection dot get so let's go connection, and you have all the statement, and let's go and say create a statement. So this is simple as that. We are creating a statement and we need to execute that statement. Which is that statement? So we are supposed to search partially. How can I select search partially? So I have a query here, select start from ABC contact. I'm going to put a where clause. So I'm going to say where CNAME. The CNAME is the field name here. You notice that CNAME and phone number is there. Where CNAME like, okay. So I'm going to say a percentage. That means to say that anything that starts from A. So remember that there must be 1, 2, 3 records. Let me run it just to see whether I get the output. So I don't get any output. So what is the reason? So reason is what is the reason? So let me, without the like, let me run it. Without the where clause, let me run it. I think I already got it. I was searching for somewhere else. So let me see that anything that starts with A. If I start with R and if I run this statement and if I run it, I must get anything that starts with R. I think I have something that is starting with R. Raj was there, Ram was there, so let's look at that thing. I will remove the where clause now. So let me remove the where clause and then just try to run it. You have Ram and Raj. So let me control set it where C name like. So it is our percentage. So we have the statement. Let's say with a percentage what it is going to give. Run the statement. Okay, so we are getting with the A, we are getting with the R, we are not getting anything. That's strange, but true. So let me search for the statement there. So let me run it. And let me say what is you put Ram here. Where is C name? Okay, where H where C name build the query where C name like a percentage. I think spelling mistake. Okay, a percentage. Let me run it, and I'm getting it, but I don't know. Let me start with the D. Whether it just takes D. D, I'm getting it, but I don't know what is wrong with that R. I think there is something else that is coming in between that R. So I'm not very sure about that R. Okay. A very strange thing. Let me run it and let me change the name as Ram and Raj. So I will commit the changes. Let me down. Now I'm getting. I think there was something wrong with the that thing that I have written. Maybe there was some. I copy pasted it from this PDF. Maybe because of that there was some unwanted characters which is there. But this is the query that is working. So let me select that query from here. Let me go back to the Java and Let's execute the query. So I'm going to say stmt dot execute query, and my query happens to be, this is the query. Now when I execute this query, let me put a semicolon. When I execute this query, I'm going to get a result set. Let me just show you. stmt, if you say execute query, query, so execute query, you get this execute query returns result set. So I'm going to get the result set. So I'm going to store that under result set. So I'm going to say result set rs is equal to that. You notice at this time NetBeans is not showing me any option. The reason is I have taken it as a SQL star as my import statement, so it is going to just use the direct import statement. And when you are writing it, this log is not required, because you are going to use system.outline for this one. Okay, so you got the result set. Now let me print the values. Yes out, and I'm going to say first one is the contact name, 2 tab spaces, and phone number. Then I will use a while loop to iterate to all the, so let me use the while loop through iterate through all the values. So while result set dot next one. So as long as you have some records, you are iterating through entire result set, and you are going to print all the values. So what are the values that you are going to print? First one, you will go to the result set, and you are going to say get string, and the first column you are going to get it. Then put a plus sign and /t plus rs dot get string again 1. So this is not 1, this is 2, second one. So that's all you need to do. After this, we are going to close the statement stmt dot close. We close the statement. We close the result set. Let me first close the result set. So we close the result set, we close the statement, and finally we close the connection. Okay, that's all we need to do here. Let's give it a try, and let's see if there is no error. It should work fine. So I'm going to say enter the contact name. I'm going to say A, press enter, and I will get a error message saying that there is no driver found, and the reason for that is I have not added the driver. So go to the projects again. If the project is not visible, go to the window here, and you will find the projects. Okay, so under window you will find the project. So window project, you find the project. See to it that you are in the project that you have just created. So the name of my project is a telephone search. So go for that telephone search project, not this sample T or anything. So telephone search. So this is the project. Go to the project that you are working with. You must know what is the name of the project. Go to the libraries of this one. Go to the libraries. Okay, you may find many libraries there. You need to add the libraries. So right click and say add libraries for the libraries of the project in which you are working. Add libraries, and then search for Java DB driver. So Java DB driver, you notice that this is the driver. You need this driver, Java DB driver. So select that driver, click add to library. Now your program, if you run it 100 times, it's going to work only with R star, I need to change this R star with something else. So what is that I am supposed to change is, I am taking the input here from the user. So I need to replace that R star with this. So how am I going to do it? I will select only the R. Look at what I am doing. I am selecting only the R, not the percentage sign. So just select R. Okay, 2 times double quotes, come inside 2 times plus sign, and then you have to put this variable con name in between. So con name in between, use control space, NetBeans will help you out. So that's all you need to do. Remember this, you have to do it, otherwise it will search for R only every time. It will not search for your value. So let's run it for the final time, and hope there is no error now. So let me go here and let me say search for A, and anything that is starting from A will appear. Let me run again, search for R, hope it should find the R. So it's going to find that. Let me run one last time. I'm going to run it. So search for AS, if it is there you will find only Ashwin. So that's all we need to do. All the best for your examination. I'm going to stop now.